Police have warned against unguarded utterances ahead of the Presidential Tribunal judgment. Try not to talk anyhow. Basically, that's what police are saying. Welcome to the Evening Rush 90.3 Voice of the People FM. My name is Precious Enyi, and this is where Nigeria's finest conversation takes place every evening. And of course, today I'm being produced by Promise Enyi. And yes, so let's get started with the hot topics that we have for the day, Nigeria. So, talking about the presidential poll petitions, military police warn protesters as tribunal delivers verdict Wednesday. As I am talking to you too, let me just mention again, police warn against unguarded utterances ahead of presidential tribunal judgments. You say, you know what, don't talk anyhow, don't say anyhow, don't do anything that will heat up the polity. Make sure that you respect yourself as it be like that. Okay, so that's it. And yeah, so presidential candidates who scored 35% of votes shouldn't be given total control of Nigeria. Who said this? Kayode Fayemi. Why would he say that? I do not know, but we'll dig into that conversation. Now, still about the tribunal judgment, as it were. Yes, let's get that. So, Justice Odili's pre-judgment remarks worrisome. Labour Party is saying that. And by the way, Femi Falana has said that people should just calm down. You know, I mean, the judgment shouldn't call for, you know, any form of chaos or anything, because any aggrieved party still does have the right to go straight to Supreme Court. So if you know, say you don't like the judgment, you go Supreme Court. So don't bother. You still have the right to appeal the judgment at the Supreme Court. So you know, calm down, cool temper. This particular verdict by the tribunal is not a final judgment. So please take it easy. Calm down. Be coming down. Yeah. All right, and as we're going, still on the hot topic this evening, fuel subsidy. We played politics in 2012, occupying Nigeria. We knew that fuel subsidy had to go, but we played politics with it in occupying Nigeria in 2012. Hey, what's going on here? Who said this and to whom? I'll let you know. Tinubu's economic decisions yielding positive results. Shetima insists, say the economic decisions of the president, if they get better results, your life is getting better, you know, for it gradually. That's what the vice president, you know, said. Okay, so yeah, and there's this exclusive story about aggrieved Nigerian soldiers petitioning Chief of Army Staff demanding removal of Infantry Corps Commander, another over negligence of duties. That is also a conversation that is worthy of note. Lagos, these are our hot topics for this for today. Let's take a little break. I will be right back to bring you details of this conversation. We'll be right back. Stay with us.
The award-winning pizza in the US is now here in Nigeria. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Romeo, the pizza champions, and Coldberry ice cream, delight in every scoop. Visit any of our outlets and feel the rich taste from the pizza champions and Coldberry ice cream at 11 Road by First Avenue, Festac Town, 28 at Denira Ogunsanya Street, Surulere, 13 Admiralty Way, Lekki Phase 1. Romeo's Pizza and Coldberry ice cream. Romeo, the pizza champions.
Listen to hot critical analysis and top trending topics of the day. Join Precious Monday to Friday, 7 to 9 p.m. on The Evening Rush.
All right, Lagos, you are welcome back. It's still 90.3 Voice of the People FM. So let's get straight on to the conversation this evening, right? Okay, great. So, a former Deputy National Chairman of People's Democratic Party, PDP, Bode Judge, yesterday said it would be a shame if the Presidential Election Petition Court, PEPC, pronounces anybody as the winner of February 25 presidential election. His comment followed report that the court will tomorrow deliver judgment on petitions against declaration of Bola Ahmed Tinubu as the winner of the election. Now, the court had reserved judgment the court had reserved judgment after the petitioners, PDP and its standard bearer, Atiku Abubakar, and all that contested the result of the election. Okay, so speaking with, newsmen at Ikoyi office, Bode judge described the election as faulty, saying the entire process should be discarded and a fresh exercise held. He said, if the judiciary pronounces anybody president with the shambolic procedure we had during the presidential election in February, it should be a shame on this country. His words, not mine. The judiciary should never go that route. The procedure is faulty. Go back and do the election again. If it's 1 million times, go back and keep doing it again. There is peace now in Kenya. The Supreme Court told them to conduct the election again. And Kenya is enjoying peace now. If the PEPC pronounces anybody as winner, the democracy in Nigeria would be redefined as government of the judiciary, for the judiciary, and by the judiciary. Is that democracy? It's not done. That's what Bode Judge says. What do you think of this? What do you make of this? I'd like to take your thoughts on it. But let's move on quickly to other conversations, Lagos, shall we? And okay, so yes, ahead of the delivery of the judgment of the Presidential Election Tribunal in Abuja on Wednesday, the military and the police have said they will not condone any unlawful action by trade troublemakers. If you'll not say you be troublemaker, you won't come make trouble, pack your load and stay in your house. Because we cannot tolerate, it's not tolerate now, tolerate. So we cannot tolerate any kind of, troublemakers. So the Director of Defense Information, Brigadier General Tukur Gasau, warned those who might be planning to cause violence on that day to discard the idea. Forget about the idea. Forget it. Don't try to cause trouble. The tribunal, in a statement on Monday, announced it would Wednesday deliver judgment. And as I speak to you, speaking about things that have been put in place, we hear that, the IGP has deployed officers around town and even redeployed some people, to different areas in view of this, the judgment that is coming up tomorrow. But let me quickly let you in on this conversation. Then I tell you more steps that have been taken by the police or law enforcement agencies to ensure that they quell any form of trouble that would ensue tomorrow. The Nigerian police have also warned against the spread of misinformation and unguarded utterances ahead of the Presidential Tribunal judgment on Wednesday. On Monday, the tribunal fixed Wednesday, I told you, as a date for the results, right? So the Allied People's Movement, APM, Peter Obi, and the Labour Party and Atiku Abubakar of PDP have approached the tribunal to challenge Tinubu's victory. Okay, all of this one will go see judgment inside tomorrow. Now, Olamuyiwa Adejobi, the police spokesperson, in a statement on Tuesday today, said the force will not condone activities capable of inciting violence or causing a descent into anarchy. He said the police have deployed officers across the country to forestall any breakdown of law and order as a result of the outcome of the election. They'd already put police people around town to make sure, say, no wahala go day. Nobody should go and do anyhow so that they will not see anyhow. Now, the Nigerian police force has strengthened its deployment across the length and breadth of Nigeria. I quote the police PRO. The police wish to reiterate the commitment to ensure the safety of lives and property before, during, and after the judgment. The statement reads, the NPF has diligently emplaced and necessarily deployed security measures during this critical period. And as officers and men are fully prepared to maintain order and enforce laws while respecting the rights and freedom of citizens. I further quote the police spokesperson. Well, we did say a lot, and he did also say a lot. I'll let you in further on what he said, right? Okay. In fact, quoting him further, he said that the NNP strongly cautions all individuals, including mischief makers and political gladiators, to be cautious in their actions and statements as the force will not condone activities capable of inciting violence or causing a descent into anarchy. It is imperative for all citizens to embrace peace and maintain calm regardless of their political affiliations to ensure a peaceful and secure environment. Okay, that's it. And as I speak to you, we hear that the police also, in fact, about 8 vans have been deployed to Lekki toll gate at the moment. So the gate to Lekki toll gate is properly guarded, and of course there's been pockets of deployment around town, just like the police spokesperson already mentioned, and this is across the country, not just in Lagos State. But I just did mention that in Lagos State, of course, there have been deployment of police officers in very strategic areas in Lagos State, including the Lekki toll gate, with about 8 vans stationed there at the moment. Lagos, I'd like to take your thoughts and reactions on this conversation. That's what we do. We get to take your thoughts and your reaction as we bring you the hot topics. 0700 903 903 903. That's the number to call. 0700 903 9039. It's the WhatsApp line. So if you're watching from YouTube, and perhaps it's easier for you to call the WhatsApp line, especially if you're in the diaspora, because that makes it easy for you to communicate, right? So it's 0700 903 9039. That's a WhatsApp line. But the direct line is 0700 903 903 903. That is 0700 903 903 903. So let's move quickly to other conversations. So, former Ekiti Governor Kayode Fayemi today said Nigeria should reconsider an alternative to its current political system, saying it's acrimonious outcomes have rendered it unsustainable. That is, this style of political system, what would you do like this? We could try change them, because the way that people get to bicker and contest and complain about the outcome of the elections have made this form of our political system useless. Basically, that's what he means. So, quoting him now, he says, "What we need is alternative politics," Mr. Fayemi said at an event marking the 60th birthday of Professor Udenta in Abuja today afternoon. In his words, "My own notion of alternative politics is that you can't have 35% of the vote and take 100%. It won't work." Did he fire shots? I don't understand. Well, I'd like you to call in and tell us exactly what you mean. Said that you cannot have 35% of the votes and then take over 100% of the people. When you just scored only 35% of the vote, there must be a reason you scored 35% of the vote. I mean, was that what he's trying to say? Now, this is me just trying to, think what must be going on in his mind when he made that statement. So, okay, you contested for an election where you should have 100% of vote. 100% of vote in a place where, in an election where less than, basically, in an election where less than 30% of Nigerians even contested. Because we're over 200 million people. And from the result of the election, you just had 20-something thousand votes. 20-something thousand votes generally. And then the winner of that 20-something thousand, the winner amongst the 20-something thousand people that voted, scored only 35% of that 20-something thousand votes. That means the number of Nigerians who, want you in power, they're just like not even up to 10% or 5%. So that's what Fayemi is saying, that you cannot score 35% of votes and then you now take over 100% of Nigerians. Perhaps that's what he's trying to say. And this is me just trying to break down the matter. Mr. Fayemi said Nigeria's political structure should reflect the pattern of votes across the country. Nigeria currently operates a federal constitutional system that allows anyone who scored the most votes from scores of candidates to be president. Now, the country has a run-off arrangement that eliminates candidates and ultimately picks a winner after a few rounds, in case no one scores above 50% in the first round. Now, Mr. Fayemi's comments came as President Bola Ahmed Tinubu marks his 100 days in office, and as Nigerians brace for the verdict of the panel, the tribunal sitting on an opposition lawsuit against the victory. Now, if we have to break down what transpired during the election, he said he had been declared winner. I mean, the president had been declared winner of the election of the February 25th exercise with about 36.6% of the votes, while his two main rivals, Atiku Abubakar and Peter Obi, scored about 29% and 25% of total votes, respectively. Okay, all right, that's it. Okay, so so he said we must look at opportunity at proportional representation, so that the party that is said to have won 21% of the vote will have 21% of government. That's what he advised. And in a related statement, let me quickly also quote what he said. He had mentioned that, that they did know that the fuel subsidy was no longer sustainable as at 2012, but that they rather played politics with it. That's exactly what he said. It didn't come from my mouth. Yes, former governor of Ekiti State said that himself. And he said it at the same event. He said, okay, he said all political parties in the country agreed, and that and they even put in the manifesto that subsidy must be removed. So perhaps that's what the present government has just done. He said, in 2012, we did know that subsidy was go, but we played politics with it. Lagos, phone lines are open. Let's take your thoughts, your reactions. I'll get back to more stories that we have. So far, I just did tell you that no candidate deserves win, says Bode judge at the Presidential Election Petition Court as they deliver judgment tomorrow. I also did tell you that presidential poll petitions, military, police warn protesters as tribunal delivers verdict on Wednesday, that is tomorrow, and says nobody should come and cause trouble. Everybody day your day. Don't come and cause trouble. Okay. And then I did also tell you that the police have also warned people from, rumor mongers and troublemakers and people who will be using unguarded statements. Don't come and bring fake news tomorrow. Stay in your lane. And as they deploy security personnel around town or around the country, right? And also they tell you what Kayode Fayemi said. Okay, so I'm coming to more conversations because the president actually did say that, there is no need to even worry about the election because the president won. So presidential candidates so the president won, so there is no need to there's nothing to contest. And there's also an exclusive story that we'll have to delve into: how aggrieved Nigerian soldiers petition Chief of Army Staff demand removal of infantry corps commander and other over negligence of duties. And Labour Party saying that Justice Odili's pre-judgment remarks is worrisome. And then Tinubu's economic decision yielding positive results, Shetima insists. Lagos, let's go straight on to taking your calls. Hello, good evening to you. Hello? All right, I lost you already. 0700 903 903 903 remains the number to call. WhatsApp line is 0700 903 9039. Let's see if I can take a few WhatsApp messages very quickly, or perhaps just go straight to my phone lines again. Okay, so I have a few messages. Let's see. All right, so this says Dayo from Fagba. Dayo, I better be able to read your message. You said, good evening. It is crucial that the judiciary should look at fact, evidence, and as that's a statue lady blinded, that is Lady Justice, folded, holding the scale, doesn't care whose ox is God. Is that what you're trying to say? Not bias, but do justice also, and let justice be served. What you said a lot. I appreciate you. Thank you so much, Dayo. Hello, good evening to you.
Hello, good evening.
Yes, good evening and welcome. Thank you for joining us.
Okay, my name is Jonathan. I'm calling from London.
Jonathan, you're welcome. Go ahead, let's hear you.
Okay, good evening.
Thank you.
Regarding Fayemi a message or statements. I don't know how to put it.
Anyone you like, Sha.
Okay. Permit me to choose one.
It's okay.
So what I want to say is that let me flash your memory to one interview a journalist have with Rotimi Amici. That where Rotimi Amici was saying that the electorate should be stoning politicians.
Yes, so He said that politicians are still doing what they do because the electorate don't stone them yet. By the time you start stoning them, they will know how to, behave well.
God bless. God bless you. God bless you. I'm just trying to put this out with the fire me statements. So when you place that thing that I flash your memory back with what this man said, now you will see that. Let me say, 99% of people, they are evil. Let me use that word. They don't want this country to move forward. Let me use that word. So you are, but when the system didn't favor you, you now turn back. Now begins to give us the true picture of what
of the situation
in the election. You understand? So you want us to be looking at you like a saint now. You understand? But you are not different now.
But are you not surprised? So are you saying that you're shocked about the 35% diss? That sounds more like a diss.
No, I'm not shocked by the statement of Fayemi. I'm not shocked.
He's an APC member.
So, yes,
he was a governor under APC.
Yes, within the caucus of APC, they are not happy the way the appointments. So that is the optics we need to be used to look at it. This one is not part of it. Are you trying to get what I'm saying, sir?
Yes, sir.
Precious.
Yes, sir. So I can get you.
So let me present it that. Just wear that lens and be using to say this man is not favoring this administration. That's why he's saying this. What he's saying. So you understand?
Yes, sir.
So and now you are now trying to bring Jonathan just to boost your own image, that as if you are not part of that demonic system. So don't simply say that statement that Ijeoma uttered. I'm very far from it. So that's number one. And regarding what's it called? Regarding Bode George is very right to some extent, because INEC they changed the goalposts when they're supposed to announce the result. They didn't follow the Electoral Act. So going by that, nobody deserves anything. They want to go by the Electoral Act. So since you are default in that Electoral Act, the outcome is rubbish now. So let me use that word. So thank you very much.
All right, thank you so much. I appreciate you. Thank you very much. All right, hello, good evening to you. Hello, good evening.
The result didn't follow the Electoral Act.
Yes, good evening.
Oh,
Mr. Tony, you're welcome. Go ahead.
Yeah. I support what the governor said. Yeah. In as much as he's a member and it favored him, now they want to change it. Everybody is trying to, all the queue in Africa, the system, the democracy we have. But there is democracy in Europe, but they have different system of their democracy. For example, Germany has the Bundes president, the Bundes chancellor, and the minister president, which they call prime ministers of their 6 geopolitical zone. There are power that the Bundes chancellor doesn't have. When those prime ministers in the 6 geopolitical zone decide something, the prime minister has to do it. And when the system goes down that way. You go to Switzerland, you can ask Nedu. They have their own democracy. Do you know that the Switzerland, they don't have president? They don't have president. They have their House of Parliament. Each in that parliament or in that house, each person will be president. They rotate it. I think it's either 6 months or 1 year they do it. So you can see that there is no way person will go in and embezzle. The next person that will come will see it. So that is their democracy. I can count the whole of you. Then why is it that our own, the democracy we practice, is that of America? But at the same America, you can see a governor riding a bicycle, walking on the street with their people. If you have a problem and you go to your constituency, you speak to the person that is in charge, who is the senator representing. They have office there. So I support what the governor, the former governor, said. Then coming to the one of the police, good. It's good that they put the security out there, because there are some people who would like to destroy people's property or break shops and loot the innocent people their things in the name of all these things. Yeah, but at the same time, you ask yourself, they are putting security. Where were they during the election?
But they were there now.
They were there, but why they were there? Everybody saw that they were there. Their presence was felt, yeah. But at the end of the day, what happened? Yeah, so it's good, but yeah, that's the thing. Then coming to what the Bode judge said, in a way, there is. I mean, yeah, and at the same time, no, because it's just like somebody who had an exam and didn't know that he or she know that he or she did well, and then all of a sudden you are telling that person to retake that exam. Yeah, it might be the person might retake that exam and pass it again, but at the end of the day, you can use because of other people in the same exam hall did some practices, and then you fail everybody, and wherever the innocent person was there, it doesn't sound good. But sometimes it's also good to start all over afresh. But if they are going to start afresh, who will monitor it again? The same man?
So you heard what Bode just said. He said that, I mean, Kenya did theirs until they got it right. So Nigeria can keep contesting and going back and going back to the poll until we get it right. But at whose expense anyway? With the money we don't have.
Even if the democracy for the judge or for the judge and democracy, I can't quote exactly what he said.
Democracy for the justice by the justice and and for the judiciary by the judiciary. Yes, go ahead.
Yeah, okay, yeah. So if they have to do it, let's say they have to do it and redo it again. Everybody is already prepared and know that these people cannot be trusted. So don't wait for them to upload it online. You copy it, take a photo of your own, and then wait for them if they upload it online. So yeah. So it's even good. In any way they go, it will be good.
So people will be prepared this time around. I know the other time some people were not prepared. I appreciate you. Thank you so much.
Because the other time everybody was hoping to what they. Sometimes when I go back and listen to what that said, Yakubu said, their press secretary, what is the name of that lawyer who was even before the Horizon News was saying, you just what? Yeah. So and all those things. So now that they have already opened their back, people will say, oh, these people cannot be trusted. It's better we how do we say? There is a saying of Liberia. Because
all right, thank you.
You try to keep a wood behind their door because you don't know when the neighbor might be turn mad.
All right, so, I appreciate you. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Yeah.
All right. Hello. Good evening to you.
Good evening.
Yes. Welcome. Thank you. Remind us your name and where you're calling from.
All right. My name is XY.
XY.
Z.
Hey, where have you been, Mr. ABCO? Where have you been? It's been a long time. What's been happening to you?
Nothing, but I'm fine.
So you just decided to go MIA or AWOL on us, right?
Try calling, it will start ringing and no picking. So I know it's always there. Your program is the best when it comes to election. I have to commend you.
Oh, thank you so much. You're just making local woman feel, blush from chin to chin. Thank you so much. I appreciate you.
Okay, let's go back to what we're saying.
Yes, go ahead.
Whatever the judge said is okay, but sometimes you cannot, will not what you use to justify the outcome of the electoral tribunal. It's clearly that we have a winner. You understand me? A winner. And the winner was pronounced Tinubu. And when the evidence that was brought before the courts. The court knew the they will give the mandate. Like democracy is known by the judge, for the judge and for the or whatever. Because if your evidence is there before the judge or before any tribunal, it is good you pronounce for whatever you see. Because
so your line is a bit problematic. I think you may just have to either be stable or watch where you are so we can hear you better.
Can you hear me now, Precious?
Yes, go ahead, please.
Now, I said, at least the whole Nigeria now put their trust in the justice of Nigeria. The judiciary of Nigeria should not fail Nigeria. We believe in them, and they should come out with the best. So, what will favor the people? What will make the people to know that, yes, in God still lives in Nigeria? Now, coming to what Fayemi said, you will now see the kind of politics they played in 2012. In Nigeria, people play, it's a good one. If you want to belong to the airlines in this country, you have to be a politician. You benefit a lot. You can defeat the whole Nigeria because they are like, most people are like Sao. What they need is for just the corn, just throw corns before them. They will buy the idea and they start selling rubbish. Now, finally came out here to tell us they deceive us. You can imagine that. Where in the world do you see that? It's very wrong. When you say that to the Western world, you'll be detained or you'll be jailed. You cannot deceive your people. But I think we came out openly to say that. Now, Nigeria police are stationed everywhere. It even go for our safety. I have to say that. But how are you sure that these same police people that are in that place, when the judge, when the outcome of the results came out and is not in favor of who they felt it should be, don't you think they might still do what they did during the time of the election? I have to tell you this for the first time. When they did the governorship election, I want to go and cast my vote at my polling unit. But in the whole atmosphere, the whole of the gate, I paused for a while. I decided to cross with my eyes. So when I was crossing, I saw a police van coming towards that direction. So the policeman said, "Do you want to vote?" I said, "Yes." He said, "Go in and vote." I said, "Okay." I walked in for me to go and vote. They said to me, "You came here to vote, Abi. You see." So I told my wife, "Babe, see, I think we have to go back because I don't trust this police." I said, "If you wait for me, I will vote. But if you move, I will not vote." They said, "Okay, go. I'll be here." So one of them took the policeman by the side. Maybe probably what they decide, I don't know. The next thing they start their van and I ran out of the venue. The polling unit. If that kind of a thing, if they can give them that bucket, why do you think tomorrow, if the result did not favor the current president, don't you think even the police might even help them the way they helped them during the election? These are things we need to study. These are things that we need to look at. Like me, tomorrow I might tell and said, "Okay, let me just stay at home." And I ask my family to stay beside me because you might go out there and run into trouble. So, but this country is somehow, we just pray that Nigeria will get it right. The judges should know that Niger State Niger is a country. Even Congo, not Congo, even what they call it, Gabon. This is a revolution that will be started for one place. Before you know it, it will start. During the time of when the Asians did that, not Asians, when these are our African brothers, Tunisia, Libya, Egypt, it all started like this. Nobody is an island. So Nigeria should just wake up. I just think we don't need problem. And because the suffering of the people might even make people to go to the street with anger. Good evening, Precious.
Good evening to you. Fortunately for us, the police has said that that kind of thing will not happen. Even to talk anyhow, so they cannot tolerate it this time. So to ensure that there is no breakdown of law and order. I appreciate you. Thank you so much for calling in. All right, Lagos. Phone lines are still open: 0700 903 903 903 0700 903 9039. Let's see if I can go through your messages a little bit. Felix from NNPC says, Ijeoma says, now the nemesis has caught up with the people without any love for the populace, but just selfishness. Yet some of their blind supporters cheer on. And then Oko Sisi from Surulere says, what are you talking about? They played politics with the fuel subsidy removal in 2012. All our politicians are good to be tied. Well, you said a lot there. Let me just rest my case. I'm not reading further. Hello, good evening to you.
Good evening.
Yes, welcome. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Okay, I'm calling from Lagos.
All right, sir. Your name is what?
Donatus.
Mr. Donatus, you're welcome. Go ahead. Let's hear you.
Okay. My own is this. There's something too hard in managing Nigeria. Anybody can rule this country.
Are you sure it's not that hard? Because it's really proving like it's very hard.
I want to see. It's not hard. One is this. If somebody, we all have families. We all, at one occasion or the other, have led people. It is not about dragging a position you cannot handle. Government is all about you being the head. You give the people the room to say what they need. They return back to you. You put it in order with your cabinet and give them back what they need. You are just there for them. They are not there for you. The problem is that we have not had people who have Nigeria at heart. We only have people who have themselves and their families at heart. The political system has become a business venture. Why would somebody be struggling to go and lead people? If that's something that is looking for. If you are there, people pay taxes. God has blessed Nigeria with natural resources. Or let us speak it this way. All the Okadas in Nigeria, 500, let's assume they are 1,000 per day. 500 naira into 1,000 is how much per day? 100 days, and that's it by 365 days. We are not talking about natural resources that we need to explore. Money is flowing. Why will somebody allow what God has created to become fixed for our problem? If you are a leader, you are that people are looking up to you. Because if the leader is doing fine, nobody wants to know who is there. But if the leader is not doing fine, that's what the ask question.
So you think people will just be busy with their lives so much that, they may not bother, right?
Basically. The point is, anybody, if you can lead Nigeria, if you have this mindset, that is all about you and the people, you are not a problem. You should be able to know what is their needs. You should be able to think back what they are expecting from you. Knowing fully well that it's not forever. It's a switch. But the unfortunate thing is that people, they are, okay, look at the fuel price that has just gone up in months to this present price. Take away money from people and keep it well. When you say you are taking this money to replace what has gone, where did it go? The people that led before, where are they free? There's not been that thing yet. Come back and ask them, what happened to this and what happened to that? But nobody asks anybody question. So it doesn't have to look like they need this one. It's not a problem. All
right, I appreciate it.
We have not had people who have the right mindset. Knowing fully well that Nigeria is a family. The president is the husband of all the governors. The governors in their states are
the wives. They're the wives of the presidents.
That to look at chiefs and the people. The way the thing is doing is that as if it is calcalo. That's why they do trial and error. Let me chop my own.
Thank you. Thank you for calling in. I appreciate you. All right. Lagos phone lines are still open. We are talking about a couple of things this evening. We did tell you that Bode judge had said that if the presidential election petition court delivers verdict tomorrow in favor of anybody, that is not a good thing because the election was a total sham and nobody should come out victorious. Else it would be termed as democracy for the judiciary, by the judiciary, and for the judiciary, right? That's what he said. Bottom line, I had to summarize. And then ahead of the PEPC judgment tomorrow, military police have warned protesters as tribunal delivers verdict. And of course, I did tell you that even the police have warned people too, don't make unguarded utterances, don't talk anyhow, because we're looking out for you. And I also did tell you that about 8 vans are already stationed in Lekki toll gate, and the police also have confirmed that they've deployed personnel across Nigeria to ensure that they quell any form of violence that may ensue as a result of the tribunal judgment. That's part of what we're talking about. And I also did tell you that former governor of Ekiti State, Kayode Fayemi, says that no candidate, in fact, that a candidate who scored 35% of votes shouldn't be given total control of Nigerians or 100% of Nigerians. That is to say that a candidate who scored only 30% of votes during election should not be given, to be in charge of people, the entire 100% of people, right? And I'm wondering, is this a diss or stuff? Because if we look at the last election, we had about 24 point something million votes, thereabout, total number of votes. And that is, out of over 70 million PVCs collected, or 70 million registered voters. But the number of people who came out to vote by the election was about 24 million people. So small. Now, out of over 200 million Nigerians. And a lot of people are wondering, okay, so what's this? Because if you go by the way the election result was announced, we had President Bola Ahmed Tinubu getting 36.6% of the votes. Atiku Abubakar scored about 29% of votes, while Peter Obi scored about 25% of votes. So who had 35% of votes that he's distinct? Is there a distant relationship between 36.6 and 35%? Well, I don't know, but this is basically what Kayode Fayemi said. And he further also said that they did know that subsidy had to go as at 2012, but that he played politics with it. And people are saying, so you guys knew you played politics with the lives of people, and now people are suffering. The suffering wouldn't have been this much if it was in 2012, because the economy was much better. As a matter of fact, the Minister for Finance said it himself that the last time Nigeria had a stable economy was 10 years ago, basically around 2012, that period. So if the economy was stable then, meaning that it would have been easier for Nigerians to, manage the effect of the subsidy removal at that time, more than they are managing it now. People are dying. People can't eat. People are hungry, genuinely hungry. I can't tell the number of helps that, I come across every day from people that you wouldn't even expect. See, anybody that you see that is dressing fine and looking good, it's just wash. People are really, and this time around, even people that you think that are doing okay are not doing okay. If you can, please check up on people around you. Check up on people around you, because it's just the more you look, the less you see these days with people. People are going through a lot, and the mental effect of all of these in people is even worse, because people are suffering mentally. People have probably gone beyond their mental capacity on how to handle things, so let me forget about that. But yeah, so that's part of what we're talking about today. And so another conversation that we're having this evening, the Vice President Kashim Shettima said that that the economic policies of the presidency is yielding positive results, that is doing okay. Let me read it out for you so you don't say it is me that said. It is as reflected in the said President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's economic decisions in the past 100 days in office are yielding positive results. Say every decision we don't take concerning economy for this 100 days in office like this, the thing they get now, good mark, positive, good marks. So Shettima made the assertion to a cross-section of stakeholders in the banking and finance sector at the opening of the 16th Annual Banking and Finance or Services Industry. He noted that the aftermath of the petrol subsidy removal and the unification of the exchange rate availed state and federal government substantial allocations. So bottom line, say the two huge economic policies that the president has made, one is the removal of subsidy, two is the unification of the exchange rate, and that these two decisions have giving state and federal government more money. So they have more money during allocation. As a matter of fact, last month they did share the highest of the money that they would ever share. from the federal allocation. So yes, they're making more money now. But the thing is, what's the impact of that money in the lives of the common Nigerians? Or in the lives of common Nigerians, as it were? Has it impacted? But I read further. He's quoting him now. He said, "I must announce with pride that our decisions are already yielding tangible results, with both state and federal governments now enjoying more substantial allocations upon allocations." So the vice president, who was a special guest of honor at the conference held in Abuja, spoke on the topic, our priorities in a post-pandemic world. Lagos. That's another conversation that we have to jump into. If you like to react to it, call up right away, 0700 903 903 903 0700 903 9039. And yeah, there's also a conversation about Justice Mayor Delee's judgment remarks as worrisome, according to Labour Party. We'll also look into that conversation as we proceed on the show today. And I told you that I did have an exclusive here about aggrieved Nigerian soldiers petitioning Chief of Army Staff, demanding removal of Infantry Corps Commander. Another over negligence of duties. These are surely topics for conversation. But let's go back to the phone lines and let me take a few WhatsApp messages right away. Adeboye Gadideji says, what is it to talk about the president's 100 days in office? 100 days of reinforcement of failure and continuous strangulation of the masses through misfired policies. Is it worth it? Is it worth it? Is that what you're saying? Or does it worth any discussion? I beg, make una free me. The only section or sector of people that have benefited greatly within the past 100 days of the president are the lawmakers, the newly appointed ministers, and the family and their family members and associates, friends and pastors, their herbalists and their imams are the ones who have benefited. Talking about pastors, I have a step down conversation that I'm just battling. Should I talk about pastors or I should talk about other thing? But I'll let you in on it. Can't you see how the roads have been deserted as if we are in a war battle? People have abandoned their cars, working as a living corpse due to hunger and suffering. And you're here talking about 100 days of hardship of one president. Hey, guy, take it easy now. Let me make you vex. Not vex now. You cannot kill don't kill the messenger because of the message down. Let me go back to phone lines. Hello, good evening. Hello.
Good evening, Madam President.
Thank you so much. Good evening and welcome.
How are you?
I'm here. You're welcome. How about you? How are you?
Thank God we are alive. We can speak today.
Yes, thank God. Great. Go ahead. Remind me your name and where you're calling from, please.
No, my name is Akuchinyere.
Akuchinyere, you're welcome. Go ahead.
100 days of throwing food to humans. They will be rushing.
You said what?
What we are seeing. I'm talking about the conversation on ground now.
All right, go ahead. Yes.
100 days. We're talking about 100 days, right?
Yes. No, but it's not basically about 100 days. That's not even in our story anyway, but it's okay. Go ahead. We only did mention what, the vice president said about the 100 days yielding very good results. But go ahead.
Can I say my own opinion?
Yes, go ahead. Sure.
Okay. 100 days is about what we are saying in food to humans. To the masses, they will be rushing it like dog. 100 days of walking like a dead income. 100 days of regretting of going to pick your PEPC. 100 days of frustration. That is what we have seen. May God help us. May God help us. That is all I have.
All right.
Bye.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you. All right, so I looked through some messages on YouTube. Nonso Odimoku says, what's the deployment for? PEPC should transparently highlight the cases and tell Nigerians the truth or nothing but the truth. And Surplus Link says, millions of thousands, my dear. Oh, yes, I get you. I meant 2024, over 24 million. Yeah. 24 million votes. Yeah, that's what I meant. I appreciate you. Thank you. That was a slip. Fisayo Majikudumi says, to be fair and to avoid all these hula baloos, I would have suggested that Atiku should have been president of Arawa, Peter be president of Biafra, and Tinubu president of Oduduwa. I rest my case. Kai, why are you guys like this? You play too much. And you said the 2023 is the worst election in the history of Nigeria. Even democracy is a president. He said even democracy is a president of executives to legislature and judiciary and party members, and left Nigerians to their faith. Oh, wow. Oh my goodness. All right. Hello, good evening.
Good evening, President.
Yes, sir. Welcome.
Yeah. Well done for the job.
Thank you.
Well done job.
I appreciate you, sir. Thank you.
So, my name is Paul Arize. I'm from Badagry.
You're welcome, Mr. Paul. Go ahead.
So what I want to add and contribute on this program now is that it is true to say the truth wherever you are and whatever you are saying. The truth is that are there bringing police, DSS, and military to go all around the nation? Where are they during the time of election? That's the topic.
But they deployed military. They deployed military around town during election. Now, have you forgotten?
Because I remember, I still have the phone number of military soldiers, which they gave us their phone numbers that they are going to in the Lagos state. That whenever anything is going wrong in your police station, you have to call them and they have to come immediately. But there was no single military man that is called army that come to any police station in Lagos. Secondly, those policemen, they come with batons, not with guns in the whole police station. It is only when something went wrong and we started calling them, they will come with their van. And when they come with their van, before then, those elements that have caused the problem in the police station must have escaped. Sometimes we take them to Ram, where those people escape to, and we will never see them again. So what I want to say finally is that mind you that Nigeria is too big for one person to say he's taking law into his hand or giving order. This time around, I thank God that this election goes this way it goes. And secondly, I thank God that everybody is contributing one way or the other in the air, in the radio, in the television, of what has happened after the election and during the election. And this time around, they say all eyes on the judiciary. And that is what we are still expecting. Whether they will judge fair or whether they will deceive Nigeria once again, as they have deceived in the polling station. So that is what everybody is expecting. All
right, I appreciate you. You're entitled to your opinion, but yeah, I wouldn't like us to say that people were deceived. And secondly, military officers were deployed, but you may not have seen them in your own polling units, but yes, they were deployed during the election.
The truth I'm telling you, but what I want to say is that let us forget all as we are saying.
Thank you.
All Nigerians are now.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I appreciate you.
And what they will say.
Thank you so much. All right. Hello. God bless you too. Hello. Good evening to you.
Hello. Good evening.
Yes.
Am I speaking with Precious?
Yes, speaking. Please welcome.
Hi.
Hello. Welcome. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
My name is Henry. I'm calling from the.
Henry, you're calling from where?
Henry, I'm calling from the Netherlands.
Well, hi, Henry. You're welcome. Go ahead. Let's hear you.
The Netherlands.
You're welcome. Go ahead.
Hi. Well, I want to comment on the Vice President's opinion. I see them as opinions because he's saying that the first 100 days have been great. Yeah. But I think he's speaking from the perspective of it being great for his family. He's not really speaking for Nigerians when he's saying that the first 100 days have been great. Maybe because now with of the currency, the dollars that he has stored, the value has tripled. But when you go on the streets, you see Nigerians walking, everyone has abandoned their cars, and I get so many calls from family asking for money and everything, and it's not been easy.
Do you think the unification even worked? Because, for instance, he did increase the prices of everything. Because I mean, it's not easy importing stuffs anymore because of rates.
It did increase. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, so
it has not been fair to ordinary Nigerians.
Absolutely,
I mean, days.
Yes, that's what people are facing. Really, that's a reality. Go ahead.
Yeah, that's basically all I had to say. That's
I
what I
appreciate
just
you.
wanted to
Thank you.
comment.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Thank you.
Yeah.
All right, I think a few more messages. So, Dayo, you see, it's not very easy to read your messages. One, because I have to be very careful and cite edit so that you know how you make sure that you put things together. And it's okay for you to think that I'm supporting government. You're entitled to your opinion, but I'm doing my job, right? Okay. But I'll try to see if I can go through your messages again, Yep. And then Lawore from Egwuatu says, those guys have a terrible judgment in plan for tomorrow. Hence, they are needing to deploy security personnel to deter the immediate justifiable protests that will follow. They want to harm protesters. That's what they will do. That's what you're saying. And then Godfrey from Surulere says, thanks, Precious, for the way you lined up for your lineup this evening. It's indeed an evening rush. Yes, it is. That's the idea. First, let the security agencies spare us all these their usual rhetorics. They would not condone unguarded comments, but they condone the daily killings and kidnappings of people in the country. Godfrey, where you they go that route now? If only the likes of Fayemi and APC would realize that their evil politics with the fuel subsidy of 2012, as he has rightly confessed to it now, is what is haunting them now that they are in power, he will not be bold to shamefully make this utterance. And then on Shetima's statement, he is proving that they are following Buhari's legacies. Remember that it was the same way Buhari officials were telling Nigerians that their economic policies were good and yielding good fruits and results until they completely destroyed everything they met and made the country an orphan. They finished everything. Bata. That's what you're saying. And then this says the judiciary will once again highlight the nature of the country our desperate politicians want for themselves and their families. With INEC ever ready to do a shoddy job and say go to court as we await the tribunal judgment tomorrow, I am happy Nigerians will not be pushed to the point of enacting the character of Sizwe Bansi, you mean, is dead in just to survive. Chika from Lekki sent in that message. No, we can't go to that level of Sizwe Bansi is dead. Precious, I don't believe in Nigeria anymore. They should go to places for all I care. If I die today, I will not die tomorrow from death. Joe, your name now is death. No, you're not dying. I understand how things are, but take it easy, please. And then he says, out of 100% predictions, I tell you that judges at the Elections Petition Tribunal has been compromised in favor of Don't say that now, you guys see. He said that deploying security officers to strategic places that they know the Sena masses may converge, just like they did during the NSAS. So, as long as the rogue politicians continue, or the politicians, I beg your pardon, continue in this manner, it shall never be well. It is not a curse from me, but it's a reality. Gosh. Emperor sent in that message. Okay, and great Agada from Shetima's view on the economy of Nigeria is normal for people who are far from the sufferings of the populace. All eyes still on the judiciary. That's what you're saying. And I take a few more messages. Precious, see how the police are speaking authoritatively because they want to protect only 500,000 selfish people against 200 million people. When justice is delayed, it's King's Palace. In King's Palace, rather, it means the rich man is guilty, but enemies will catch up, or you say nemesis rather, but nemesis will catch up with all who are involved in this mesh, in this mess. That's what you said. Our country is right now, but what is you say we're all watching. Uche from heaven sent in that message. I go back to the phone lines now. Hello, good evening. Hello.
I want type on that.
Hello. You don't type am now. You did phone here with me now. Hello.
Hello.
You did phone with me now. Oh, sorry. Apologies. I already had you on. All right. So I'll take a few more messages. Babeji from Oshodi says, please help us tell the judiciary court to save Nigeria and Nigerians tomorrow by declaring the truth, justice and fairness based on the truth evidence proven by before the court. Let them save and restore our democracy from the civilian coup. INEC played. I said INEC played on Nigeria. Okay, the civilian coup that INEC played on the 25th of February 2023. We well-meaning Nigerians will rejoice and celebrate our democracy once again, which INEC, probably did not put in the right place. That's what you said. Hello, good evening.
Hello, good evening, Madam Precious.
Sir, you're welcome. You're welcome. Please remind us your name and where you're calling from.
Madam Precious, I'm not about. This is Monday, calling from Agege.
Oh, sir, you're welcome. No, not vex. So it was a bit confusing for me. Apologies. You're welcome, Monday. How are you today?
We see Reno, thank God. Please, I want to comment on something.
Go ahead.
The politicians, let them be nice to the people, because I go to Second Rainbow, and me, I don't believe on TV and social media, although it helps. They always use these common Nigerians to guide themselves and do protests, because we don't want violence. All eyes on judiciary, and we want concrete evidence. Let them stop giving us fake news, or we need truth, because truth, if you're happy to it, will set you free. But they are not ready to let go. That is my own side.
Thank you.
And please, let me just add this. Please, the new administration, not that they don't have their vote or their vote do not count, but we do not see the evidence. That's why the controversy is everywhere. All eyes on judiciary, the tribunal. We do not need them. If it is the Supreme Court is the final say, and let the court be plain and be straightforward for us. Let us have a concrete evidence, and let us know the happily winner, and everyone will celebrate, because this is not how it is in time of Buhari. There is nothing like go to court or rerun or the election will continue. Buhari on end.
Jonathan did not contest Buhari's presidency, but did you know that Atiku contested his re-election in 2019?
Atiku, he was a vice president then.
I mean 2019 when he contested under PDP. With Buhari. Yes, he contested it in court. Yes.
Yes, thank you very much. But he does not have a good result. And people know it, that he has so many evidence. He has taken all the Nigeria property to Dubai. That is why people know about it, and they don't want to give him good reply. Jonathan supposed to win that election, but Buhari is a military man. That's why we do not want military, because he comes for coup. Military is a coup something for all Nigerians. And Jonathan does not want violence or for common man to die.
But you know that this thing you're saying is just propaganda, Abi? I say, what you're saying is just propaganda. By saying somebody wanted coup or would have done coup.
It's not propaganda.
All right. I appreciate you. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. Thank you. Yeah?
All right.
All right, and bye. All right. Hello. Good evening.
Good.
Yes.
Okay. Sorry, I didn't know that I'm on. This is Jonathan from London. I call back.
All right, Jonathan, you're welcome. Go ahead. Let's hear you.
So I want to regarding this protest that police and DSS, everybody's trying to give warning. So the security guys should realize something. When IBB annulled June 12 in 1993, what gave birth to 1999 democracy was the protest that all of us are enjoying today. So the only thing that will sustain this one is still protest. So they should not see protest as a threat to government. They should see it as a tools to reform the nation. That's what I want to contribute. Thank you.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. All right. Okay. So let me take a few messages because I still have quite a number of messages here before I move into that exclusive story about the military that I told you we have. He said, Precious, INEC was mean at the last election. Bottlenecks to register claimed they gave cards to owners, yet the cards were found in large numbers in the bush. At the tribunal, more than 18,000 polling units results were blurred from the IREV. In fact, Professor Mahmoud disappointed also. Simisola from Isola sent in that message. And something from Yenopaja says, the situation of this country is getting more laughable each day. A vice president applauding higher revenue sharing as an indication economy is getting better. Then Fayemi's statement is just And he said, Grandpa Bode Judge makes half sense, but his statement makes half sense, but there is a way lawful votes can be asserted by a genuine tribunal. Security deployment to threaten ordinary masses is the best Nigerian personnel can do, while the insurgent terrorists, kidnappers, etc. are having a field day and Merry Christmas, but he cannot do anything about them. That's what you're saying. And then, Livinus from Ejibo says, Mary Odili has given a verdict indirectly. What I see is that they are using every avenue to prepare our mind to accept the bitter pill. He said, as you would also note, there are many prophecies coming up here and there, all meant to prepare the mind of the people for obvious bad news tomorrow. Well, time shall tell. Livinus, we're going to share some of the prophecies of probably preachings today on our step down conversation. And then Mr. Ola says, 100 to say, good evening, Precious. Thank you. Good evening, sir. 100 days of Tinubu is because suffering of more people and people are dying. I missed my friend, Mr. Darlington Ola from Chicago. Thank you so much. Thank you. Well, I did mention quite a few things that we're doing today. Hello, Madam Precious. We are hungry, my dear brother. We know, say hungry full grano. We know it is everywhere. Dick will appreciate you. And oops. This message is so. I say the painting. Okay, yeah. So don't worry about that painting, please. Don't even go there. I know about that story. Precious. Why are you calling me like 55 times? Yes, sir. Don't push me to type something you will not like. No, they mention that VP opinion again. Not make me write the news now. Now isn't it the news? Now isn't a good reader for you now? Why did you like this? He said, me we never chop since morning upon all my waka waka today. Name one person they tell me say, now one person they whine me. No be stupid and animal talk. Me that. Oh, please now. He said, I beg go. I don't want to insult anybody out of vex. Father Law from Iju sent in that message. Sorry, I understand your condition. I totally understand. Precious, good evening. See, if I vote against again, make I no, you don't go bend. You go vote. Wait, make I go take call. Now they come back. I'm coming back to address your matter. Don't say that. You're gonna vote. Hello, good evening.
Hello, Madam Precious.
Sir. Good evening, sir.
Sir.
Good evening, sir.
Prepare for tomorrow. Good evening.
Me, I'll be chilling on my bed. I'm not even going to watch, Seth. I'm not even going to watch. When you people finish watching, is it tomorrow's conversation? Is it people that will tell me what happened in the tribunal judgment? I'm not the one that will tell you. Now when I go tell me what happened tomorrow's show. Now when I go do the show, me I go just ask on the questions.
No,
please.
I don't stay out. Let me send a small prayer for you today.
Ew, you want to pray for me?
I send you prayer to your email.
Hey, from your ears to my email address. I mean, from your mouth to my email address.
The email address. I sent to your email address.
But you're not the Senate president now. I didn't know that common citizens can send prayers. I didn't know that common citizens can send prayers. Thank you.
Anyone you like, just call out.
No wahala.
To me, then Nigeria don't expect anything tomorrow. Nobody will be the clear winner. To me, the best the judiciary will do is to put a renowned election. That's the best thing for them to do. They should not declare anybody winner. So that nobody should say I'm the victory. But let them go back and put a renowned so that the judge will go back to the polling vote again. That's what I think will happen.
Right.
Because a lot of things against whoever is going. Who are you going to declare winner? It's how many voters you
I'm telling you.
That's the thing now. So you cannot declare the 25% Abuja is still questionable. All these things, I think the best to do put it on, and I think APC are aware of it.
So the thing about putting a rerun, that it's not just one case that is before the tribunal. You have the APM that, by the way, have a very valid case. You have the PDP and Atiku Abubakar. You have the Labour Party. So now I just want to know, if there is a rerun, on what basis will the court be throwing away the APM's case? Remember that the APM's case, the case of that APM where they said that.
I know.
So on what basis will you throw it away when our constitution states differently?
They might throw throw all those things away.
Why? On what ground? No, but you will throw away and give a reason now. On what basis will it be thrown away? Because any throw away you do now is setting a precedent against another one. No.
Wait, let me tell you something. As far as I did not declare all the results, they might say the results are blunt. Because they can't know who is winning. They can use that one, number one. They can use number two, that 25%. Because Obi got 25%, but he didn't get the highest number of votes. You can see. So these are two basic things. But about all this credential, whatever it is, they might just throw those words.
Why would they throw anything away anyway? Why would they throw away the fact that yes? So what I was saying about the APM cases, APM's case is not even about the president; it's about the vice president. The fact that he held a double nomination at the time, based on the constitution, that he shouldn't hold a double nomination.
That would be a disaster.
Do you understand? Because so and by law, the president was supposed to have fielded a genuine candidate before a certain time to the election. So how would they throw away that case?
The worst thing that will happen in Nigeria is for them to disqualify Tinubu. That's the worst thing that will happen. It will be like, in fact, it will not be like a Nijeku. It will be like a world war.
Nobody called for disqualification. We're just talking about the interpretation of the law. We're talking about the interpretation of the law. So
he's not a quiet person. Do you know why Nigeria is too quiet? Let me be honest. Let me tell you something I observed. Because Tinubu is Lagosian. If it's like Tinubu that are doing this thing, Lagos will catch on fire by now. Tinubu is a Lagosian. That's why the protests are not going to start in Lagos at all. Because Tinubu holds Lagos. So think about that. Disqualify Tinubu because of his vice. I know they pray for that one. That's still important to me, I beg.
So you leave us there where you did for Chakwabi.
That's important to me, I beg. I know they pray that one. Let the grant time. Don't forget about that one. I bet.
No, we're saying the same thing but differently. Why we're not praying for it, because me too, I don't pray for any wahala, right? But I'm just saying that how will the judiciary interpret that case and throw it away? That's just questions that we're asking.
Precious,
sir.
If the judiciary want to use technicality, they can throw all these allegations away with technicalities. They can turn black to white in law. So they don't want what time they use and they throw those things away. So they might use the timing. There is a timing on that thing. They might use the timing of closing hour, timing of this.
But the timing wasn't wrong in this case, because if the timing was wrong, they wouldn't even hear it in the first place. If the one they threw away because of timing was that of PDP, because PDP filed theirs before the election.
I know what I mean. The timing. They're supposed to resign a day.
Yes.
Before he accept that one. So, but that a day, I use because it's closing hour. If they don't to throw it out, they ignore it because closing hour. They can use the technology of those things. There's way you can push those ones like that. The one I think they will not push aside is the declaration of some blunt election result. That one is blunt. Everybody knows that. In fact, the area don't declare over more than 50% of the result. So I think I say who there's a winner. And Nigeria will get the worst result if they stop. If the Tinubu is what's it called, India, He tell that is in fact is disqualified, not even to the contest, disqualified. That I beg, I'm not praying for my enemy to get that kind of result, but I beg.
All right.
I want people to be alive.
Thank you.
God beg.
Thank you so much. Appreciate you. Thank you. Appreciate you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you. Please do have a great evening. Thank you. All right. Lagos phone lines are still open. 0700 903 903 903 0700 903 9039. These are the numbers to reach us with. So, hey, Chris, I'm coming back to you. You said, I will never vote again, make you bend. Who tell you say you go bend? You don't go bend and you go vote. You say, INEC refused to do what is constitutional. And now we are waiting for just 5 judges to tell us who won election. He said the same judges a lot of Nigerians do not, believe in. Since we don't want Nigeria to be better, let's just at least spoil it together. Come on, stop it. Chikodiri from Okeafa says, how are you doing? I am doing okay. The president's 100 days in office has been a disaster for me or for Nigerians. His policies has not impacted the lives of common Nigerians in any way. We look forward to justice prevailing tomorrow. Precious, good evening, sir. Please, the tribunal do not do the right thing to save our country, because there is hunger in the land, and that comes, the judgment will determine the outcome of the judgment will determine the unity and faith of our nation and national and the nation. Thanks. Lucky from Ejibo sent in that message. And let me go back to the phone lines. Hello, good evening. Hello. All right, I lost that. So let me bring you this. I still have a lot of WhatsApp messages, but let me quickly take this story, that exclusive, right? So I did say that there's this exclusive story from the Sahara Reporters. You can go look it up by yourself. That aggrieved Nigerian soldiers petition Chief of Army Staff demanding removal of Infantry Corps Commander and another over negligence of duties. So they said the aggrieved soldiers who spoke to the paper today accused the DO of corruption and lack of care, which according to them has led to mass retirement of military personnel and desertion. So remember that this story has been, there was a time that about, good number of military officers resigned, and, they took voluntary retirement and some resigned. And this story came up then that a lot of them were taking that action because of their dissatisfaction about how the Nigerian army was run. And then the Nigerian army, rebuffed that story and said that no, that people wanted to resign for different reasons. And to get into the forces voluntary and to leave the forces also voluntary. So they had to let them go because they wanted to go. But it's not because, they quelled that allegation at that time, really. But it looks like it's resurfacing again. So they say some Nigerian army personnel have called on the Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Taurid Lagbaja, asking for the immediate redeployment of Chief of Personnel Management, CPM, Major General Y. Yahaya, and Infantry Corps Commander, ICC, Major General O.O. Oluyede. They said the aggrieved soldiers who spoke to Sahara Reporters today accused the DO of corruption and lack of care, which according to them has led to mass retirement of military personnel and desertion. Now, the soldiers who spoke on condition of anonymity lamented that contrary to the Armed Forces Act on operations of the Nigerian military that stipulates that soldiers shouldn't stay in a location beyond 4 years, so many soldiers have been confirmed or confined in one barracks for 8 years and 10 years now. The soldiers, in a petition to the Chief of Army Staff against the DO, which was made available to the paper today, claimed that the officers had removed to release infantry. Claimed that the officers had removed to release infantry posting throughout these years, adding that the posting was supposed to be released quarterly after, I think, every 3 months. Major General Yahaya, Chief of Personnel Management, Major General O.O. Oluyede, Infantry Commander, have not released infantry posting throughout this year. Infantry posting is supposed to be released quarterly after every 3 months. That means a batch was supposed to have been released in September, another one by June. So they should have been looking forward to the next one that will be released like this September or perhaps early October, right? But they said they've not even seen anyone this year. And they said we're in the third quarter, but since this year, officers posting have come out more than 4 times, but soldiers posting is no way. He said the way our generals are treating us is not fair at all. They don't care about our welfare. All they care about is to make money, and that is why soldiers are going for retirement. In fact, they said a lot, but let me just rest my case here. Phone lines are still open, Lagos. You can chime in on the conversation. Hello, good evening. Yes, please. Sir? Help me turn up the volume of your radio set, please.
I can't hear today now.
You say what?
I said put money in my pocket. You close my mouth. That's not talk again.
Where you put money for pockets? Sir?
If a judiciary judge by Iran means they have offended the whole nation, and Iran will cause more problems, more than when we started. So I believe the case must go to Iran. Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you, sir. Okay, so everyone on social media, I see you guys. Media Peace, I see you. Thuni Chukudi, thank you. Yoruba TV too. I see what you put there. Meadow Peace, I see you too. Thank you. Okay, thank you. But let me strategically just keep going back to my phone lines, so that I don't make any of you angry. Perhaps just take a few WhatsApp messages. Yeah. So Tony said, always say the truth. Lai Mohammed is not around to hoodwink you. We proclaim that no regime present or past would be worse than Buhari. Some of us are now licking our vomit, because never in the life of this country has it been this nasty and brutish. Economy-wise, 100 days of hell on earth is what we have seen. Where were these security men during elections when people were being killed, maimed and intimidated, chased away from polling units or voting centers? PEPC should be fair and just by their judgments, cause global eyes, ears, they on the judiciary. Global cannot do anything. Tony from Ijegamo. Global is not global in anything. Global go live on and they protect their interest. Hello, good evening.
Good evening.
Yes, you're welcome. Thank you.
Yeah, this is Isaac from Bode.
Isaac, you're welcome. Go ahead.
Yeah, you say, let me tell you something. If you're expecting anything different from the status quo tomorrow, I think we must be.
We must be what?
People complain at everything. We understand we begin to blame the federal government. The question is that, what about the state governors?
Well, about 25 states, about 25 judgments will also be, released tomorrow for the states' elections and I think houses of assembly and National Assembly too. That's him tomorrow. So it's like, all election results tomorrow.
When we blame the federal government, have we forgotten the state governors? All this money being shared from the allocations. What are they doing with the money? What is Lagos doing with theirs? What is Abia doing with theirs? What is Congress doing with theirs? Those are the questions we'll be asking. The government is making money, and the money is being distributed according to the 3 tiers of the government. What are those states doing with theirs? How well have they impacted life? Why don't they do like Zulum of Bono? We all see what Zulum is doing. So when people get to trauma there, people has done this, have we forgot about the state? We could really take care of people who work under the federal government.
I agree. But how about the local governments? Have you also forgotten that a local government chairman, was sacked because he spoke up about the state governor not giving them allocations since 2021?
That's
Ogun State here. And he was sacked. I mean, because the local government is the closest to the people, and if the local government was properly taken care of or had been autonomous the way it ought to be, they would have been able to have more impact on the people.
Precious.
Sir?
Precious.
Sir?
Our legislators should fight for local government autonomy.
But the states have refused now. Did the President Buhari try not to do it? He tried to do it, but the state governors refused. And you know that every state governor, probably have their legislature at, I don't want to say wings and caprices, but you know that. You know that almost every governor is in control of their judiciary. So,
see, we are our own problem. If this bill is passed and we could hold our representatives responsible, what things will not be considered? This madness will continue. This madness will continue.
Sorry.
We need to blame the federal government. What about this government?
I agree with you totally. The federal, the state government or governors, the local governments, they should be allowed to work effectively.
They are armed robbers.
Calm down.
They are armed robbers.
Calm down, please mind your language.
By tomorrow, nothing is going to change. For that, my sister, nothing will change.
I agree.
Nothing is going to change. Nothing is going to change. The Supreme Court, I'm not expecting. Let me say something. If it's Atiku as is president of Nigeria, or if it's this so-called do you think every president will be removed from the post? I'm sorry. Whoever thinks the president will leave that position is in his wildest dream. He's dreaming. Have a nice night. Good night.
Oh, wow. Good night. Wait, that's a rude shock. Okay. All right, so let me gently go back to my messages because it looks like it's a bit safer there. Okay, then this says, democracy in our country has become a thing of shame of the outside world. Our politicians have, in their greed, made it a caricature to our shame. The youth should before it is too late wake up to redeem it, not minding their religion or tribe. Unfortunately, our present day politicians and security personnel have all compromised to this decadence. A new Nigeria is still possible if we judiciously come together and have a rethink. Chinedu from Badagry sent in that message. And then he says, Precious, my advice is that this government should station at least one soldier or police in every building in Nigeria to stop people from causing any trouble. But that will be, I said that will not be. Is that what you're trying to say? God is what's last say? God has last say. That's what they're saying. His Royal Highness HRBC Nwoko. It's been a long time, sir. I've not read your message for a long time. I hope you're fine. From Oshodi, say, I enjoy other Nigerians in begging our almighty judges to please do the needful by upholding the truth. I equally call on all to stay calm and wait for the final judgment tomorrow. It's not the final judgment. You have, you can appeal to the Supreme Court. And this says, if it were possible that during election, the top 3 candidates would be allowed not to govern their supporters to progress or suffering. And no one would be allowed to decamp to another party, and their candidates, they support nothing but suffering. Well, all right. And then this says, Precious, your president said refinery will start working from now to December. Please, Precious, do you hear anything working over there, Precious? They promise you they would bring electronic vehicles for where there is no steady electricity in the country. That's where you said a lot. I appreciate you. Thank you. And then he says, Precious, I have been so much worried to say this. Whatever thing that happens after tomorrow, Professor Mahmoud Yakubu should be held responsible. And again, the judiciary should deliver right judgment without fear or favor. Uzorechi from Isheri sent in that message. And good evening. I can bet you that the ruling in the court tribunal will be in favor of the status quo. If you can bet 50k with me, I'm game. Usman from Surulere. Usman, I'm not betting anything because I'm not in any party. Precious, let callers talk. I beg you, leave me, Joe, to do my job, or you come and sit down here and do the job for me. Please. Those preempting tomorrow's judgment, then I ask, what will they tell us about 25%? What will they tell us about APM case, which many people are not even aware of, which is a very strong case. I do agree with you that APM case is a very strong case. And what will they tell us about 88,000 blood results from the INEC? We are watching closely. Senator sent that message from Isola. Senator, appreciate you. Thank you so much. And Dio from Fagba again. Say, Precious, you were wrong when you said they deployed military in time of elections. They didn't. What happened was that the armies were withheld on those 2 days. The police didn't hold guns but baton. Oga, I covered the election. I moved around that day. There was joint military. In fact, they did not just deploy military. All the military forces were out, including paramilitary. Even, what do they call it? The civil defense, including the correctional center workers, they were all out and deployed during that election. Please, that is what I know, the much I know, because I covered the election and I saw by myself. All right, reading for that your message. You said, what happened was that the armies were withheld on those 2 days. The police didn't hold guns or baton, and there was no police patrol, to the extent that Agbere attacked the people, the journalists, and some police in Lagos. Even MC Olomo made some indicting comment, but this is still working, but he's still working as a free man. Like you used to say, the police and military DSS are just doing eye service. I mean, talk that one, like they used to say. Why didn't they go to the north to clear Boko Haram there, where all people have been dying and where Boko Haram has been shooting innocent people? That's what you said. All right. Right, I appreciate you. Thank you. All right, I'll take a few more calls and we'll go down to our step down conversation. Hello, good evening to you. All right. Hello, good evening. Hello, good evening. All right, I lost that call. All right, phone lines are still open. Hello, good evening to you. Hello. Hello, are you there? Yes. Good evening. Yes, sir. Welcome.
How is today?
We there now. We there today.
Okay.
We are in today.
First of all, my name is Mr. Wanko Jerry Mandela Jr., calling from Agudede.
Go ahead, sir. Welcome.
I want to once again commend you and your station.
Thank you, sir.
In fact, you've been educating us so much.
Thank you,
that
sir.
most of us, like me, have become unconfirmed lawyers. Yes.
Everyone is not a lawyer.
Yes. You're not confirmed lawyer. That's what we have, because you've made us to know our rights. And then we're able to defend our rights.
Thank you.
Now, my comment goes to the statement of Vice President.
Okay.
How I wish, tell him how I wish he would come down to Daleko or Ladipo. Every day we travel from Daleko to Jakodegi bus stop. We trek and we move like donkeys and jackies. You understand? So how I wish he comes in there, then he will be able to retrieve his statement and correct it back. I want to leave just a statement for our leader, especially present government. You can push people, you can fool people all the time, but sometimes, you can fool people sometimes, but you cannot fool people all the time. That is what I have to say today. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you so much, sir. Thank you, I appreciate you. All right, Lagos, let's just take a breather and move straight to our step down conversation. So, on our step down conversation this evening, let's forget about all this that's happening. So, for those who are still interested in talking politics, it still has something to do with politics. But this is politics versus, men of God in Nigeria. So, you'd recall that, during the runoff of the election, during that election campaign period, Pastor Paul Adifarasin of the House on the Rock Church was under fire because of a comment that he made during his preaching in church, where he did said, David will come, but Saul will come first before David. And people now said, Saul, and then he now said, Saul is not bad after all. And people now said, that kind of thing. And there was a lot of talk. And right now, he's today, he released another statement in preaching in his, on his social media handle, where he did say that, he said a lot. I would rather plead for you to use your own ear to hear exactly what he said. But if Saul is not doing well, we should move on. How if Saul is not doing well? People should move on, right? There's been a lot of meaning that has been read about that. One of the questions I'll ask is, should men of God really interfere and come into politics? Because it's becoming like way too many. There's been different reports of, for instance, of Pastor Kumuyi, where he did say that, Buhari, would do well in Nigeria. And now he said again that the president, the government of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu will do very well, and their policies will work through the ministers. And then there's also a report of where, I think some years back, where Pastor Adeboye said, that dollar must come down against the Naira, that Naira will regain its power again. In fact, in 2-3 different occasions, he said that. Now again, he's also said the same thing. And these, of course, things has got to do with governance and politics and all of that. So do you think it's just fair that men of God should, raise our emotions by being involved in politics on the pulpit? Yes, they have the right to, because they are citizens as well. But understanding the overwhelming influence that their speech or statements usually have, do you think is something that they should go ahead to do? Or is it just better that they focus on the gospel, and perhaps advisory, and not double into politics? I'm going to play you that voice note by Pastor Paul Adifara Singh, the one that he released today, and I would like to get to hear your opinion on it. Lagos, stay with us as a step down conversation. 90.3 Voice of the People FM. It's still the evening rush with your girl Precious. I'll be right back.
Are you looking for the perfect getaway?
Look no further than the luxurious accommodations at Airport Golden Tulip Hotel, Lagos, number 42, Muritala Muhammad International Airport Road, Lagos.
Relax and unwind in a beautifully appointed rooms featuring all the amenities you need for a comfortable stay.
Whether you're traveling for business or pleasure, our attentive staff is here to ensure that your everyday need is met. We also offer complimentary pick-up and drop-off from the Lagos airport.
Take advantage of our state-of-the-art fitness center, outdoor pool, and enjoy a delicious meal at our on-site restaurant.
With stunning views, world-class service, and a prime location, Airport Golden Tulip Hotel, Lagos is the perfect choice for your next vacation or business trip.
So, why wait? Book your stay today and experience ultimate in comfort and luxury at Airport Golden Tulip Hotel.
For bookings and reservations, please call 0815-8003-333 or 0815-7003-333. You can visit our website at airportgoldentuliphotel.com.
Airport Golden Tulip Hotel, where luxury meets comfort.
Are you looking for the perfect getaway?
Look no further than the luxurious accommodations at Airport Golden Tulip Hotel, Lagos, number 42, Muritala Muhammad International Airport Road, Lagos.
Relax and unwind in a beautifully appointed rooms featuring all the amenities you need for a comfortable stay.
Whether you're traveling for business or pleasure, our attentive staff is here to ensure that your everyday need is met. We also offer complimentary pick-up and drop-off from the Lagos airport.
Take advantage of our state-of-the-art fitness center, outdoor pool, and enjoy a delicious meal at our on-site restaurant.
With stunning views, world-class service, and a prime location, Airport Golden Tulip Hotel, Lagos is the perfect choice for your next vacation or business trip.
So, why wait? Book your stay today and experience ultimate in comfort and luxury at Airport Golden Tulip Hotel.
For bookings and reservations, please call 0815-8003-333 or 0815-7003-333. You can visit our website at airportgoldentuliphotel.com.
Airport Golden Tulip Hotel, where luxury meets comfort. The award-winning pizza in the US is now here in Nigeria. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Romeo, the pizza champions, and Coldberry ice cream delights in every scoop. Visit any of our outlets and feel the rich taste from the pizza champions and Coldberry ice cream at 11 Road by First Avenue, Festac Town, 28 at Denira Ogunsanya Street, Surulere, 13 Admiralty Way, Lekki Phase 1. Romeo's Pizza and Coldberry ice cream. Romeo, the pizza champions. Are you aware that Iruka Online Limited installed and designed a 100,000 capacity church building? Oh yeah, we are the sole distributors of global leading brands all over the world, such as Wafday Light Array, speakers and digital amplifiers, Preseno's digital mixers and studio equipment, Coswell workstations and keyboards, Fender guitars, Mapex drums, Ashdown bass combos, just to mention but a few. We offer flexible payment plan handled by our financial department with 24/7 customer care support system. You can visit our website on www.iruka.com to avoid buying fake products. You can also visit our showroom at number 36 Lagos International Airport Road beside Golden Tulip Hotel. Iruka, never settle for less.
Listen to hot critical analysis and top trending topics of the day. Join Precious, Monday to Friday, 7 to 9 p.m. on The Evening Rush.
Yes, Lagos, you are welcome back from our studio. It's 22 minutes pursuing the 9 p.m. mark right here in the studio. Still the Evening Rush 90.3 Voice of the People FM with your girl, Precious. Yeah. So, welcome back. Before we went on break, I did tell you that we'll be looking at our step-down conversation after we've dealt with all the matters that concern politics. But now we are in our step-down conversation. And I did tell you that in our step-down conversation, yes, we're looking at what Pastor Paul Adifarasin tweeted today. And that tweet, he tagged, "It's time to, unquote, move on," unquote. I'll play you the video of that tweet. And if you also do marry that tweet with what he did tweet during the election, where he did mention that before David will come, Saul will come, and that Saul wasn't bad after all. And that raised a lot of, so you're supporting Saul, whom they thought or think is now president, Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Right, and they said, that Saul knows how to gather good minds and good brains, to work and all that. But at the end of the day, now he now says, if you think Saul is not doing well, Saul started off well, he made a little bit of mistake, and it's time to move on. And people are saying, okay, all right, what's going on here? He said that before David, Saul will come. That was the tweet, right? That before David, Saul will come. Right, so let's take a listen to what the tweet that the message he released today that has been raising a lot of reaction.
And he might be on the throne for another 40 years, but he's still passed. I don't have to use the throne to bring a king into play. I don't have to win a battle through the king. I can win it through a boy. So stop talking to me about. Samuel has invested so much prayer. Maybe 28 years. Saul. Saul was doing well for a while, but he started to make the wrong turn. And he's still praying to God, God, please fix him. He even exhorts Saul, but Saul's not listening. And one day he's talking to God. God says, stop talking to me about the past. Because as long as you keep talking to me about the past, I can't talk to you about the future. And even if I did, you wouldn't hear me because you are consumed with the past. But Saul is still on the throne. He's still passed. And he might be on the throne for another 40 years, but he's still passed. I don't have to use the throne to bring a king into play. I don't have to win a battle through the king. I can win it through a boy. So stop talking to me about what is past. Some of you are so attached to something in your yesterday, and you want closure from God. You want closure from Saul. You're not necessarily going to get closure. You must now learn how to move on without having to have closure. Because if you have to have closure, it means that you need an explanation from God. And if you have to have an explanation from God, it means that you don't really trust God. So you can walk away from pain and saying, God, I don't need anybody to explain. I don't need anybody to say sorry. I trust you to deal with it. My job is to move on. Do you understand that? Because some of you, you're fighting somebody, you're not talking to them because they haven't made closure. And you haven't had your chance to tell them how ugly, how nasty, how wicked they are, that how could they ever do that to you? I made up my mind a few days ago. I moved on. You can have your ugly ways about me. You can say all you want to say about me. You can toot and twerp and how do they say olofofo? Amebo. You say all you want to say. I don't have a beef with you. I've moved on.
Lagos. So that's the message that was posted today by Pastor Paul Adifarasin. And a lot of people thought, okay, so if this message was from Sunday's service, why didn't he post it yesterday? Why didn't he post it on Sunday afternoon? Why did he have to post it today? People are beginning to read me. It's not me that is talking this, it's what people are saying. So that's why it's a step down conversation. So after the reaction of what he said, making an inference of, an example of Saul and David during the election. And a lot of people interpreted it to be, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu and P2B, so President Bola Ahmed will come before any P2B will come, like that and all that. He never went back to the altar to say, you know what you guys thought I was saying is not what I said, dude. That's not true. He didn't say anything. And then he comes back again now, and then he's still talking about Saul, how Saul started off well and made a few mistakes. But you know what? We should move on. Even if Saul will be on the throne for a while, he should move on. So, and could this just be that people are just thinking too much? It may just be a harmful message based on the scripture. Are we just thinking too much? Or should we really think too much? Or is a pastor giving people the opportunity to actually think too much or read a different meaning into, this message? I'd like to know what your thoughts are. And then secondly, do you rather that men of God actually stay completely away from anything that has got to do with, politics and the people, and just focus on dragging them to God and preaching this gospel to them? Because there's been a lot of controversy, as I said earlier, concerning men of God. The Kumi's preaching back to back, saying Buhari will be good, and then coming back now to say this present administration will be good. And then also Adeboye saying, Naira must come down, Naira must equalize, dollar must equalize to Naira. And, said that before, that Naira decree that you come down. Naira no cigarette, dollar decree that you come down. Dollar have coconut head, he refused to come down. And then now he also did say that Naira will regain its strength again and will be greater than dollar. And people are saying that what is going on here? All this thing you've been preaching since it hasn't happened. Perhaps it's not yet time for it to happen. So the question is, should the men of God focus on the scripture and pulpit and the job of salvation and stay away from, politics? Or is it the same thing, one and the same thing? Because people used to say that the reason why we don't have good leaders is because people who truly know God are not involved in politics. Or should they actually be involved? That's the question we're asking in our step down conversation today. Hello, good evening to you. Sir,
good evening.
Good evening, sir. Welcome.
Good evening, Precious. UK.
UK, you're welcome.
Yes, you see, all the pastors, they are suggesting, not that God gave them any alert. They are just suggesting because they don't have any industry in this country, rather industry in their pocket. And they are not contributing anything to the economy. Well, how can they know something about the economy of this country? So they are just suggesting, not that God giving them vision to say anything. So
okay, it's just their personal opinions. Okay.
Thank you very much.
All right, thank you so much. I appreciate you. Thank you very much. Godfrey from Surulere says, you see these pastors, they are gradually losing it. Very soon they will become irrelevant and people will never listen to them again. Usman from Surulere sent in that message. Okay, yeah, I see your message. And then this says, for me, I don't see any reason why I should be concerned to take serious the statement of the individual. It's their mouth and they can say anything that they like, because they are because they are called pastors, doesn't mean that they say that whatever they say is right or relevant. If it's you people who ignorantly attach importance to them, then again, this is one thing you would hardly see the Muslims do: bring political statement of their imam or whatever on radio for discussion. Why should I not bring it? That's up to you. Because it was all over the social media today anyway, so I'll bring it. Yes, I will bring it. He said, and here it is the other way around, allowing all sorts of characters to condemn the religion in the process of condemning the pastor. Well, you're entitled to your opinion, and I appreciate that. Going back to the phone lines down. Hello, good evening to you. Hello? Yes, please. Good evening and welcome.
Yeah, Mr. Bode.
Mr. Chukudi, you're welcome. Go ahead. Let's hear you.
Yeah. You know, you didn't give me my side today. I wonder.
But you did not call me now. It's when you call my name, I answer you now. It's the respect. That's how we're taught.
Okay. That's why I wrote what I wrote on the message.
So when you call me, sir, you don't call me now, I'll answer you. Okay. I don't forget my home training. You're welcome. Go ahead.
Okay. So, you see, have anybody watched the Catholic bishop and most of the Anglican bishops?
How they carry themselves, right?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
They don't talk anyhow.
I agree with you.
And
very well.
That is most of the Reverend Fathers and their Vicar General and the rest of them. That is the reason why Paul Kagame told somebody who came to talk to him as a pastor, he told him, go back and go to the seminary and study the way the Catholic priests finish their studies. Then you would learn a man and what to do, and then before coming to talk to him. Now, yeah, some of the pastors have the right to say something as a citizen, as you said. But all these things, some of them are talking, is contributing. I don't blame Peter. Peter said that if everything they say, leave it is the will of God, and said that is it the will of God that a child born today will be begging? See, there is something. A friend of mine who came to the first time in Europe, he came. There was meat everywhere. Meat. He said, "Why is it this Ash Wednesday they will tell people not to eat meat? Instead, they will tell people not to eat swallow." So you find that.
So you mean that Catholics on Ash Wednesdays and Good Fridays eat meat in Europe?
They don't.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, they don't.
I just wanted to be sure.
There are meat everywhere.
Okay.
Yeah, there are meat. What I'm trying to say is that at the end of the day, are you telling me that the same God that people in Japan, Asia, and the rest of them are worshiping is different from our own God? Why are they doing this? Those that are enjoying the good roads in other countries, are they worshiping a different God? Why is it that the pastors cannot? They have money and they can come together and form a force and speak, but they will not do it. They have every right to say their mind and their opinion, but it's difficult for most people now to know whether what they are saying is from God or not from God.
That is not even the question. The question is not whether or not it's from God. It's just because of how influential their statements can be and how it does heat up. I don't want to say the polity, but practically, because this statement heats up polity, because it did heat up the polity during the election, and it's also heating up things now. People are saying, why post it on a day before the judgment? You understand? Is there something you're saying to us?
Because the situation in Africa has led many people to, instead of they don't want to lose hope, they put their hope in God. And these people are capitalizing on it. Even here, okay, I tell you one thing. During the COVID, do you know that the British government they don't know what to do because they feel that black people don't want to take the vaccine. They have to go to the church. They say that the pastors have influence on them. The pastors can talk to them. You see the way they are seeing us. And even the governors, like the person that was talking, I was calling you to say something about the governors. You see what they are. There's one thing when people start to criticize Buhari. There's one thing I love about that man.
And that thing I love about him is this: when you ask him a certain question for a state, he will tell you the governor.
Yes. Yes, he does mention
And
it.
he never,
In fact, he even mentioned that the governors are the
owned
ones setting governance, behind. He did say that.
Yeah, he never owned any one of them a penny.
I
He
agree.
pays them on yeah. So, and the same people,
Even
the
if it
same
means he had to
governors
borrow
will go
to pay
all
them. Yes.
Yeah, the same governors has to go to all these churches and they are talking. All these prophets and all this man of God. It is another thing is that all these traditional rulers, one day you hear one of them will be talking. Because any governor that comes in, the traditional, all of them will go and pay homage. Oh, this is the one that we see that will develop the state. What of the other one before him? That all of you went and pay homage. There are so many things that need to change. Poverty is creating a lot in us. It needs to change.
All right. Thank you. Thank you so much, Tony Chikwudi. I appreciate you. Hello. Good evening to you. Hello. Hello. Are you there? Good evening. Hello. Oh, wow. But you're on the line. Hello. Good evening. Are you there? All right. Let me quickly go back to my messages. Auntie Precious, these are fathers in the Lord. They are too much thinking with our minds. All right. And then they says, good evening, Madam Precious. Yes, pastors have to talk about politics, but they have felt from the beginning, and the failed remained from the beginning, and it's too late for them now. We say they are not talking about the same things, and I don't know if we have different God from Body of Christ, Allen from Gentle, Allen Gentle from Ilasamaja. And then this says, I must tell you that pastors, bishops, so-called GOs are part of the problems we have. The last time I checked my Bible, prophets confront bad leaders who oppress the people, and God uses prophets to remove those leaders. But these day pastors ask the people to suffer and wait for the bad leaders to finish their badness and their bad time and go. KC from heaven. Is that what he told you in heaven? And then this says, Prepare. You see, there is nothing wrong in what in that. For me, I for one, I think the pastors and all men of and women of God should be involved in our country's politics, in as much as they will be speaking and doing the truth under the influence of the Holy Spirit that will be helping and saving our country better. For the poor masses of their nation. That's what Babiji said. And then this says, Precious, forget about your so-called, most of them are businessmen. You're a woman of God like every other person is that of God. They all are politicians and tribalists. They manipulate the white man's scriptures laced with polished English language to hoodwink their gullible followers, adherent, and then the money in their pockets is what these men of God are after. Please now take it easy. He said they have turned every abandoned industry estate into church and factory instead of factories. That's what you said. Father Lowe from HU sent in that message. And then he says, it's nothing but tribalism, self-centered, egoistic, and that my brother is from my tribe. That's what's playing out by this religious men of God. When you said a lot, I have to rest my case there. And Precious, election don't come and go. And now Tinubu is our president. We should leave all these conspiracy theories that can't make Tinubu lose his seats. Precious, like you said, they think too much. Olu from Badagry said so. And then this is gospel is for edification and comfort. I believe some of them are just trying to give hope for their congregation. Well, Lagos, this is what we draw the curtain today. Thank you so much to everyone who's been a part of the show. I appreciate you so very much. And hey, I'm having some very interesting conversation and stuff on my YouTube. You should go check it out. I'm at Precious Enyi TV. Precious ENYI TV put together. Yes, you see that there, Precious Enyi TV. You should go check it out. On Instagram, I'm at Precious Enyi Official. On Twitter, I'm at Precious_Enyi. See you guys tomorrow, Lagos. Have yourself an amazing evening. Did I say on Facebook? I'm at Precious Enyi. And hey, this show has been produced by Promise, and she's at Zinefab on Instagram. ZINNEFAB. And on Facebook, she's at Promise me. I'll see you tomorrow. Have yourself an amazing evening. Whatever you do, please be careful. Please trade carefully. Be careful. I beg you again, be careful. I want to see all of you safe because I love you so much. Good night.
Are you looking for the perfect getaway?
Look no further than the luxurious accommodations at